Welcome back to the new unit of this module. The unit for discussion is KIIFB Mandatory Compliance. First, the introduction. A compliance program in an organization is designed to ensure that the organization complies with all applicable laws and procedures established by law or the organization's management. Compliance program of KIIFB is divided into the following 6 sections. First one, objectives and scope. Second, policy statement. Third, compliance system. Fourth, compliance function. Fifth, independence and authority. And sixth, annual review and update. Now we talk about the first section, objectives and scope. This is to promote safe financing and administrative operations. It is clearly stated that an organization and its employees must comply with relevant laws, rules, regulations, and standards. The second section, policy statement, gives a brief outline of what the compliance policy of KIIFB is as a government-owned and controlled agency. Third one, the compliance system. The KIIFB's compliance system is comprised of 2 key elements. First is the Compliance Management Office, which comprised of a Chief Compliance Officer, Deputy Managing Director, Chief Risk Officer, Compliance Coordinators, and Department Heads. And the second is a formal document of Compliance Manual approved by KIIFB Board. The fourth section, the compliance function. This structure defines the overall functional relationship of the organization in terms of compliance and responsibilities. That is, at first the Chief Compliance Officer, second the Board of Directors, then comes the Audit Committee, fourth the Senior Management, and then Chief Executive Officer, and then comes the Risk Management Office, and finally Internal Audit Office. Fifth section, independence and authority. The compliance function shall be independent of KIIFB's business activities and report to senior management, the Audit Committee, and the Board of Directors. Sixth, the annual review and update. The compliance program or manual shall be reviewed and updated annually, and any changes, updates, or amendments shall be presented to the Audit Committee and Board of Directors for approval. Next, we talk about the compliance contained documents. The SPVs are supposed to follow the instructions in the following documents. They are, first one, the Kerala Public Works Manual or Central Public Works Department Works Manual based on the nature of SPV. Second one, tripartite agreement. Third one, modified procedures or guidelines for KIIFB projects contained in the government order. Fourth one, revised rates and procedures for processing send-aid charges as contained in government order. Fifth one, instruction on updating project progress on PMAS. Now we talk about the compliance from KIIFB manual. The issues and observations were gathered over a long period of time while examining funding or fund releasing proposal from the administrative department and SPVs. Eliminating these may strengthen the project management process as well as smoothen the fund flow by minimizing the probability of rejection and return of fund release proposals. Finance and administration follow compliance with all elements of KIIFB Act. Project identification, prioritization, and implementation follow compliance with regulatory norms. The following points mentions about the compliance with tripartite agreement. Where there is more than one SPV implementing sub-projects or components of the main project, there will be separate tripartite agreement in respect of each SPV, and the details of sub-projects or the components of the main project implemented by such SPVs will be added as the schedules to the respective tripartite agreement. KIIFB will make a fair copy of the tripartite agreement on appropriate stamp paper, which will be signed and executed by the authorized signatories of the SPV, public agency and KIIFB. Following execution, a certified copy of each will be provided to the authorized signatories of SPVs and public agencies. KIIFB will be keeping the original agreement. To enter into a tripartite agreement, the SPV must first obtain the approval of its governing body or the board of directors or executive committee as applicable. To save time, the SPV may obtain this approval through circulation or ratification. Let's talk about specific issues and observations based on agreement. The Kerala Stamp Act and rules apply to SPVs that follow the Works Manual of the Kerala Public Works and Central Public Works Department. According to the Kerala Stamp Act and rule, only stamps purchased in Kerala may be used, for instruments may be executed within the state and subject to duty under the Kerala Stamp Act. The value of the stamp paper used for the agreement shall be determined in accordance with the Kerala Finance Act in force at the time the agreement is executed. All SPVs are advised to maintain an agreement register in their office, duly certified by a competent officer. Agreement number and date of agreement shall be entered in the register according to the financial year. Agreement number and date of the agreement should be entered in all the executed agreements. All pages of the agreement shall be signed by the parties to the agreement and it shall be duly witnessed. Now we talk about Kerala Public Works Manual compliance. The time required for the completion of a work shall be carefully assessed based on the scientific parameters and indicated in the tender schedule. The extension of timed completion that can be granted at a time shall not exceed 25% of the original time or 6 months, whichever is less. The maximum extension that can be granted for the work shall be limited to half the original time of completion. Let's discuss about the compliance mentioned under Central Public Works Department Works Manual. First one, the manual has to be followed in managing the time of completion. Second, to ensure effective, efficient, quality and on-time completion of work and to safeguard the public interest, there are several penal conditions in the state as well as Central Public Works Department manuals. Third, all the implementing officers or engineers of the SPVs shall ensure the prompt application of such provisions. Now, let's discuss about the responsibilities of SPV. First of all, the SPV shall engage competent and well-experienced professionals to prepare the DPR and other technical documents. They should ensure that the documents are developed carefully based on detailed discussion and in-depth research. The SPVs shall carefully verify the bill and all the other documents before approving and uploading them to the PFMS as part of the fund release proposals. The SPVs should not pass bills without audit certificates. The SPV shall conduct a detailed analysis of the requirement with the support of owner agencies concerned while developing the DPR. The SPVs should take special care to submit the documents online and in order they should reach KIIFB for verification. In case of land acquisition, SPVs should furnish documents as per the right to fair compensation and transparency in land acquisition, rehabilitation and resettlement rules, and related instructions, and coordinate with the revenue authorities to get the LA carried out on time and strictly in accordance with the rules. Senior officials of SPVs must ensure that all the uploaded documents are legible before submitting the same to KIIFB. SPVs are advised to devise a compliance monitoring system in their office. SPVs are advised to designate a senior officer in their appropriate office as the compliance monitoring officer, and that officer shall ensure compliance with all the instructions on time, and that all fund release proposals submitted to KIIFB are fully complying with the directions issued while releasing the funds against the previous bill. SPVs must take systematic and proactive steps to ensure that issuance of work orders, execution of agreements, and site handovers to the contractors are being carried out promptly. The SPVs must have good knowledge of the prevailing government. A handbook for the administrative department and the SPV norms and such demolition issues should be sold before the tendering work. It is the prerogative of the administrative department and the SPVs to decide whether the time of the completion can be extended in accordance with the work manual they follow, that is, the Kerala or the Central Public Works Manual. The Government Order number 170/2019. This government order is regarding the cendage charges and cendage release procedures. In this GO, it mentions that the SPV shall submit the claims for the payment of cendage charges directly to KIIFB through the online portal of KIIFB. With this, we come to the end of this unit. For more details, please refer to the documents attached, and thank you.